So Saturday night at the Rogue Island Comedy Festival, and first time I got to do it, I kept getting booked, and Doug, God bless him, he asked me every year, and one year I had this and that, and so we did it in a vineyard outside, and in Portsmouth, Rhode Island, beautiful spot, but boy, it was chilly and windy. I mean, like 40-mile-an-hour winds, 62 degrees, freezing. But my main man, Dan Bulger, came down, drove all the way down in a blizzard, this fool. That was a Wonderful Life reference. He came down. Chris Allen was there, Fat Chris, the bully. And Chris bought some guy. You know this guy, Alex something?
Castaigne.
Yeah, he's a hell of a guy. That guy is first class.
Cute kid. I think he's like 14 years old. He's got no pubes. Whippersnapper, fun guy. He's coming to a few of my gigs. He's a cute kid, good hang.
I fell in love with this kid because we started, talking Springsteen, and it's like you and I with Seinfeld. You meet a Springsteen guy, you start pushing each other into the bushes, and I'm like, did you know Bobby Jean's about Stevie Van Zandt? And he's like, oh my God, you got to be shitting me. And I told him the McCartney story. He was blowing me. We smoked cigars in the woods. It was fantastic. And
it's great. You're a pedo. You're like Epstein. You're hanging out with 14-year-olds.
Oh, I gave him a noogie. I fucked him in the ass. I mean, it was fantastic hang, and Chris was nice too, whatever. But Chris was like, bring your baseball glove. Bulger brought his, and so it was like a little chain letter. We all brought our gloves, threw the ball around. We felt like children. We're out in the field. It was Field of Dreams.
I love it, except there's a black guy there.
Well, Terrence Mann. What's his name? James Earl Jones.
Oh, yeah. I hope Chris narrated.
Yeah, he was, what did you see, Ray? But anyways, we had a nice baseball toss. But then... first show, not great. Two drunk women in the front kept chipping and chapping and just the kind that no one else can really hear them, but they keep being like, oh, no, that's great. Blah, blah, blah. Like 50-year-old women, drunk, chit-chatting.
Ugh. And these are high-class, hoity-toity Rhode Island queefs.
Exactly. And they got their own beers. They're all drunk. They think they run the world, whatever. They were annoying. Then I had a couple friends from high school, and they're sitting over here, and they're kind of chatting a little bit. They're drunk. They're chit-chatting a little bit. One of them gets up and goes to get a drink right as I'm closing. And you just go, what is this? Just hold your piss for 4 minutes, you fucking son of a bitch.
Hey, look who's talking, Wizzy.
I'll hold.
Holden Caulfield.
Never pissed during a Pearl Jam show in my life. 42 shows, never urinated once, even when I was an alcoholic.
That is... highly unbelievable. What do you got, a Pampers on? That's insane.
Well, one time, Montreal, 2000, whatever, Cantor and I went to see Pearl Jam. They play a 3-hour show. We left. I was literally physically limping. I could not stand up straight, and the bathroom line was too long. I forget why. We had to piss behind a dump, or whatever you call it, a dumpster, and I pissed for I'm not even joking, 4.5 minutes straight. It was just, I couldn't stop pissing. But I would always dehydrate myself for hours before the show because I didn't want to piss. But that's a whole other bag of tits.
Sure.
But so afterwards, I got these friends. I just go straight. I didn't have a great set. I didn't love it. I go straight back to the dressing room area. I'm talking to the boys, and they're like, you should go talk to these people. You've known them for 20 years. You haven't seen them in 10 years. And I'm like, I'm not going to go. I don't want to talk to them. I had a bad set. They were chatting, whatever.
It's a lot of work.
I check my message, and it goes, hey, can we say hello? And I'm like, I don't want to be rude. I go out there, and the one woman, sweet as pie, couldn't have been sweeter. We kick around some old times. I'm so happy I went out there to talk to her. This other lady I went to high school with, she was like, you were the third funniest on the show.
Oh, man. That's brutal. What are they, 3 comics?
The point, 6 comics. I was in the middle, but, I'm headlining the show. I'm the headliner, and she goes through who was funnier and why. And I'm like, what are you doing? And her friend, the sweet friend, was like, what are you doing? And she's like, what, is that no good? She's like, what do you mean? You just weren't that great. It's no offense.
Painful. Imagine going, hey, you're kind of fat. You're not as pretty as your friend.
Brutal. And then the other 2 comics come over, and then she doubles down. She's like, hey, I was just telling him how much funnier you guys were.
This is
just
appalling.
sit there. It was brutal. Very hurtful.
Can I ask what she didn't like?
Me. I don't know. I don't know. And to be fair, I fucked around a little bit. I tried some new. I was a little dirty. I stunk it up. I was annoyed by the drunk ladies. And
that's a nightmare.
The other two might have had easier spots. I'm not saying nothing about nothing. I don't know what's what, but
Enough said, understood.
But it was a bummer, so I just went, and then Alex really stepped it up. I mean, this guy, he was talking Springsteen, telling me I'm great. We smoked cigars together. I had to light mine off the end of Chris Allen's, which felt gay and fun, and
Very intimate.
it was quite fun. We had a good hang, and then the second show was rocking. You know when you get that, you get it back. It was more packed. They weren't drunk, more fans, killed. But then, of course, you have the feeling of like, why couldn't they have been at this show?
Right, of course.
But
Story of my life.
second show was amazing. Doug Key, he puts on a hell of a show, hell of a festival. Great guy, great times.